Dear students, welcome to Mahesh Angadi Science YouTube channel. Today, here we are going to discuss one of the most interesting and important chapter, that is cell cycle and cell division. So as to explain the majority of the biological process, we must be very clear regarding cell cycle and cell division. That means we must be very clear regarding mitosis and meiosis. Okay, here in this chapter we are going to discuss such a cell divisions. So first of all, let us understand what do you mean by cell division and what do you mean by cell cycle. See here, whatever may be the organism, whichever may be the organism, even maybe the largest ones, their life begins with a single cell. Yes, can you name that single cell from which human's life begins? Yes, yes, it is zygote. Okay, zygote, a single cell, diploid condition, from which a multicellular organism like a human being and any other organism's life begins. Okay, see here, a single cell, okay, makes such a huge multicellular, trillions of celled organism. Then how it is possible for that single cell to grow into a that much sized organism? Okay, yes, there one process is taking place. Okay, what was that process? That process is nothing but cell division. Because of cell division, one parent cell, okay, one parent cell get divides into, okay, get divides into two daughter cells. Okay, one parent cell get divides into two daughter cells. Okay, these two are the daughter cells. Okay, so by this process is said to be cell division. Okay, here again what happens, these daughter cells will later become into parental cells and they will in turn divide into, okay, two more cells. Okay, the cycle will continue like this. The cycle will continue like this. Okay, this is what a cell division. Then what do you mean by cell cycle? Okay, see here, during cell division so many sequential changes occurs. Okay, like duplication of genome and other cell constituents, and eventually it is followed by a parent cell divides into two daughter cells. Such sequential changes are said to be cell cycle. See here, what is cell cycle? Cell cycle is the all the sequential changes, okay, that takes place during the cell division. All the sequential changes that takes place during the cell division, like duplication of genome and other cell constituents, and which is eventually followed by the parent cell get divides into two daughter cells. Here the definition of cell cycle we must remember. Okay, what do you mean by cell cycle? Here let me define it. Okay, all the sequential changes that occurs during huh, during cell division, like duplication of genome. Genome means genetic material, DNA. So before the cell division what happens, there is a duplication, or we can say replication of genetic material. That is what we termed here as a duplication of genome, and other cell constituents also get duplicated. Okay, other cell constituents, and eventually followed by parent cell get divides into parent cell get divides into daughter cell. Yes, this is what a definition for cell cycle. Okay, and already we defined what is cell division. See here, cell division is the what? Cell division is the, see here, the cell division is the process in which parent cell get divides into daughter cell. Cell division is the process by which parent cell get divides into daughter cell. Okay, this is how we termed and we defined what is cell cycle. During cell cycle, what changes will occur in the cell? Before the cell division, there will be a duplication of a genome or a genetic material at a particular stage of a cell cycle. Remember, which is that particular stage in which DNA replication will take place? Remember, it is a S phase. Later we will discuss what is S phase, and where it comes. Okay, see here, in a cell cycle there is a particular phase that is called S phase, in which replication of genome or DNA takes place. Okay, and even other cell constituents will also get duplicated during the cycle, and it is followed by the parent cell get divides into daughter cell. Okay, this is what a cell cycle is. Now let's talk about a typical cell which undergoes a cell cycle. Okay, here for our study we are taking one typical cell, that is human cell. Okay, human cell, the cell cycle of human cell lasts around 24 hours. Yes, see here. Okay, the cell cycle of a typical human cell lasts around how many duration? It's of around 24 hours. 24 hours it will take to get divided into two cells. Yes, then this duration varies from cell to cell. This duration varies from cell to cell, as well as the organism to organism. See here, this duration is not fixed for all type of cells. Okay, for a typical human cell, the cell cycle duration is of how many hours? 24 hours. 24 hours, remember this point. But this duration is not for same to the all cells. Okay, the duration varies from organism to organism, and even from cell type to cell type. Okay, if we take another example such as yeast cell. Okay, yeast cell. See here, what is the duration of cell cycle for yeast cell? Yes, here yeast cell proceeds to get divided into two cells after 90 minutes. How many duration? After 90 minutes, each yeast cell get divides into two daughter cells. If we take a bacterial cell, okay, bacterial cell, the duration may be still lesser, around 20 minutes. Around 20 minutes, sometimes it may be said to 35 minutes. Okay, so on an average half an hour it will take to get divided into two cells. Let's assume there is one bacterial cell. Okay, there is one bacterial cell, and now it is a single cell or parent cell. After 20 minutes, what it will become? It will become into two daughter cells. Okay, after 20 minutes what happens? These cells will again further divide and become into four daughter cells. Another 20 minutes, after another 20 minutes they will become into 8 cells. Like this the chain will continue. So within a day, the number of bacterial cell will reach up to millions. Millions together. Okay, that's why when we get infected by a bacterium, a disease causing bacterium, okay, within 2 to 3 days its number increases drastically up to millions times. That is why we will get suffered by illness. Okay, yes, this is what an duration for cell cycle. Okay, now let's talk about the phases in the cell cycle. Different phases in the cell cycle. See here, in cell cycle Okay, cell cycle is further divided into two main phases. Okay, cell cycle is further divided into two main phases. The first phase is M phase. Okay, first phase is what? M phase, which is also known as mitosis phase. Mitosis phase. Okay, then the second phase is called as interphase. Interphase. Okay, first phase is called mitosis phase, the second phase is called interphase. Okay, this is how the cell cycle is further divided into two phases. Then what do you mean by M phase? Let us understand what do you mean by M phase. M phase, it is the phase of actual cell division. See here, M phase is nothing but it is a phase of actual cell division. Actual cell division. It's a phase of actual cell division, or the phase in which mitosis takes place. Actual mitosis takes place. Okay, mitosis occurring phase. Mitosis occurring phase, we can say. Then what do you mean by interphase? Let us define. Okay, interphase. See here, before the cell division or mitosis occurs, cell get prepares itself for the cell division. Cell get itself prepare for the cell division. It will undergo certain resting period. Okay, it will undergo certain resting period and it will grow. It shows certain growth. Okay, growth and maturation. Okay, that phase of rest is called interphase, and that can be defined like this. Interphase is nothing but it is a phase between two successive M phases. It is a phase between two successive phases. Successive M phase. Okay, it's a phase between two successive M phase. Okay, you see here one M phase occurred. Let us assume one phase M phase occurred, means actual cell division took place. Okay, from that period to the next cell division that occurs. Okay, that the intermediate duration is called what? Interphase. It is a kind of resting phase in which what happens, the cell prepares itself for the cell division. One important thing happens during the interphase is there is a synthesis of DNA, or replication of DNA occurs. Okay, yes, this is what M phase and interphase. Let us say the duration of a cell cycle is of 24 hours. Let's consider human cell as an example. The duration of cell cycle is of 24 hours. In this, majority of the duration is meant for which phase? See here, majority of the duration is meant for interphase. 95% of duration 95% of duration is meant for which phase? Interphase. That means in 24 hours duration, only 1 hour is meant for M phase. Remaining 23 hours are meant for interphase. Okay, it is just I can give one correlation for this. See here, for your PU course completion, okay, PUC course completion, just you are going to write 6 papers. Okay, 6 papers. Okay, they are of just 3-hour duration. Okay, 6 hours papers, each paper with 3-hour duration. But for that 3-hour duration paper, you are preparing for how many days? Nearly 364 days you are preparing. Just 1 day for writing the exam, and remaining 364 days for what? Preparation. Okay, like this, even like the same thing is happening here also. See here, the actual cell division M phase is of just 1 hour, but for this 1 hour cell division, the cell is getting preparing for of 23 hours. That means 95% of duration is meant for interphase. Okay, then this can be represented with a pie graph. Okay, let us represent the whole phenomena using a pie graph. Let us assume this is one pie graph. Okay, this is one pie graph. See here what I am showing here now. Okay, this duration, okay, this duration is for what? M phase. This duration is for M phase, and remaining all the duration is meant for what? Interphase. Right. In interphase again there were three subphases. In interphase there are three subphases. Okay, three subphases. Which are those? G1 phase. Okay, G1 phase, which is also known as gap 1. Okay, gap 1 phase. Okay, then second phase is called S phase, which is also known as synthesis phase. S phase, or which is also known as synthesis phase. Then the third phase is G2 phase, which is also known as gap 2 phase. Okay, let me represent these three phases in the pie graph. Let's consider this is all regarding M phase, and here this portion shows what? G1 phase, and this portion is showing what? S phase, and this portion is showing G2 phase. Okay, this is how we can graphically show the cell cycle. Okay, and here this portion is of M phase. See here, M phase is further divided into two phases. M phase is further divided into two phases. One is karyokinesis, another one is cytokinesis. In karyokinesis further there are four phases. Okay, in karyokinesis further there are four phases. Let's say which are those? Prophase, then metaphase, then anaphase, and next one telophase. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Then lastly there is a cytokinesis. Okay, this thing is meant for what? Cytokinesis. After cytokinesis, which phase starts? Interphase starts. The first phase G1 starts, then S phase, then G2 phase. After completing G2 phase, again the next M phase will begin. That is why we defined that interphase is a phase between two successive M phases. Right, now let us understand what will happen in these phases during interphase. In G1 phase what will happen? S phase and G2 phase what will happen? We'll consider them one by one. See here, G1 phase is nothing but a phase of rest. Okay, resting phase. It's a kind of resting phase. Okay, then certain resting will take place, and certain growth will continue. Okay, growth continues. Okay, certain rest will take place, and certain growth will also takes place. After that one important thing that happens in the G1 phase is, here cell is metabolically active. Remember, cell is metabolically active. Okay, during G1 phase what happens? The cell is metabolically active, but no DNA synthesis takes place. Okay, no DNA replication will occur. Remember, so these are the few points regarding G1 phase. During G1 phase resting will occur. The cell will undergo certain resting period. along with that certain growth will continue, and here in G1 phase cell is metabolically active. Remember this point. But no DNA synthesis will occur in the G1 phase. That point is very, very important to remember. No DNA synthesis will occur in G1. Yes, then where the DNA synthesis will occur? Yes, see here in S phase, during S phase, the DNA synthesis will occur, or DNA replication we can say. DNA replication occurs at S phase. Okay, DNA will start getting duplicating. The genome, we can say, it will get duplicated during the S phase of the cell cycle. That's why the name synthesis phase. Synthesis, what is getting synthesizing here? DNA is getting synthesizing. That is why it is also termed as S phase. Okay, DNA get doubles. Here important to remember is DNA is getting doubling, but chromosome number remains same. This point you must and should remember. See here, let's assume before the cell division, before S phase, chromosome number is 2n. Let's assume before the S phase, chromosome number is 2n. After the S phase, chromosome number becomes the same, 2n itself. Okay, chromosome number is not getting doubling, but the chromosome content is getting doubling. Let's say before the S phase, chromosome content is 2c. After the S phase, what it will become? It will get a double. Then double means what? If it is 2c before the S phase, after the S phase, it becomes 4c. This point is very, very important to remember. Chromosome content is getting doubling. How the chromosome content get doubles? Let's say, let's see. Let's assume this is one chromosome. This is one chromosome. This is what? DNA content before the S phase. After S phase, what happens? Chromosome number remains same, but the sister chromatid will form. See, sister chromatid will form. That's how the DNA content will get double. Chromosome content will get double. See here, this point is going to be very, very important. Some applied type of questions might be asked on this phase. Okay, yes, see the question. Before the S phase, if chromosome content is 8c, then what will happen after the S phase? Such questions might be asked. After S phase, it is going to be how much? It will double. Before it is 8c, then after S phase, it will become what? It will become 16c. Okay, like that, applied questions might be asked. And even what is the chromosome number before G1 and at the end of G1? Chromosome content before G1, after G1, like that questions might also be asked. So see here, in G1 phase, chromosome number is 2n. At the end of G1 phase, again it is 2n. Chromosome content is 2c. At the end of G1, it is again going to be what? 2c, because in G1 phase no DNA synthesis occurs. So chromosome content and number will be same before and after in the G1 phase. But in S phase, chromosome number is 2n. After the S phase, it is becoming 2n itself. But the chromosome content will get double from 2c to 4c. When we talk about G2 phase, chromosome number is 2n before the G2, and the chromosome content is how much? Already it is got doubled, it is around 4c. And at the end of G2 also, chromosome number remains 2n and chromosome content becomes 4c itself. Okay, this is how the chromosome content will double during the S phase. Chromosome content will double during the S phase. Okay, then what other changes will occur in S phase? Let's see. See, one more important change occurs during the S phase. Let's see what it is. See here, inside the cell, DNA synthesis or replication is occurring in the nucleus. So this change, DNA replication, is occurring in the nucleus. In the meantime, in cytoplasm also, during S phase, one important changes occur. What was that important change? See here, there is one cell organelle named as centrosome. There is one cell organelle named as centrosome. Okay, it will also get duplicates. Okay, it will also get duplicates. Huh? Like this. Here, what is centrosome? Let's see. Centrosome. Okay, it is one of the important organelle. Non-membrane bound organelle it is. It is made up of two cylindrical structures called centrioles. Centrosome is made up of two cylindrical structures called centrioles, which are lying perpendicular to each other. Okay, their role is very important during the cell division. What's their role? See here, they are going to form certain microtubules, a kind of certain proteins, which are also known as asters. Okay, and along with that, they also form certain spindle fibers. Okay, these spindle fibers are going to attach to the chromosome and pull those chromosome to the opposite poles. This is how this centrosome plays an vital role in the cell division. It will also get duplicates during the S phase. So in S phase, two important changes occurs. One is DNA replication, which is taking place inside the nucleus, and one more important change, that is duplication of centrosome in the cytoplasm. Okay, that will also takes place in S phase. What is the role of centrosome? Centrosome is going to form certain protein tubules, microtubules called asters, as well as spindle fibers. They play important role in pulling the chromosomes to the opposite poles. Okay, yes, that's why centrosome is important, which is also getting duplicated in the S phase. Okay, then next phase, let's talk about the next phase, that is G2 phase, and last phase of the interphase. About that we'll talk. Okay, see here, in G2 phase, certain protein synthesis occurs. Which is very much essential for cell division. A kind of protein synthesis required for the cell division will occur in the G2 phase, and certain growth will also continue. Okay, certain growth continues. Cell growth continues in the G2 phase. So in interphase, there are three phases: G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. Here G1 phase, also known as gap 1 phase, and S phase is known as synthesis phase, and G2 phase is known as gap 2 phase. What kind of changes will occur in each phase, we must remember. Okay, in G1 phase, resting of the cell will continue, and certain growth will also continues. And here in G1 phase, cell is metabolically active, but no DNA synthesis occurs. Okay, then cell enters to the next phase. That is S phase. During this phase, DNA replication occurs, as well as duplication of centrosome takes place, and which is followed by the G2 phase. In this phase, protein synthesis occurs, and certain growth will also continues. This is how the interphase continues. But remember, all the cells doesn't undergo cell division. This thing is important. All the cells not undergo for cell cycle as well as cell division. For example, in adult animals, human heart cells doesn't undergo cell division. Okay, and there are certain cells in the body. Okay, they undergo cell cycle only based on requirement. Okay, on requirement basis only they enter into the cell cycle. Okay, wherever there is a requirement by certain damage or certain wear and tear, okay, certain damage, okay, like that, based on requirement only certain cells will enter, will undergo cell cycle. During such conditions the cell rests in the G1 phase itself. Okay, such a kind of resting phase is also known as G0 phase. G0, or which is also known as quiescent phase. Quiescent phase. Okay, yes, the cells which does not undergo cell division, they undergo resting phase in G1 itself, that too under quiescent phase or G0 phase. Wherever a requirement occurs, wherever requirement is there, then they continue into the next phase, S and G2, and then followed by M phase, like that. When accident happens, our skin will get teared. Okay, those skin cells will be replaced based on requirement. One more thing here we need to remember is, in animals this mitosis occurs usually in diploid somatic cells. Okay, in animals, in general mitosis occurs in diploid somatic cells. Okay, even there are some exceptions. Such as male honeybee, where even a haploid cells also undergo mitosis. In case of male honeybee, okay, where the haploid cells also undergo mitosis. Okay, this is in case of animals. In case of plants, in plants cell division, that mitosis occurs in both diploid cells as well as haploid cells. So in case of plant cells, the mitosis occurs in both diploid cells as well as haploid cells. In case of plants, there is a special kind of reproduction, that is alternation of generation is there. Okay, in which we are studying that, okay, haplontic life cycles, diplontic life cycles, haplodiplontic type of life cycles. Okay, during which if the parent pod is diploid, that undergo cell division by mitosis. Even though if the parent pod is haploid, there also it undergoes mitosis. Like that, there are certain life cycles of plants that you study in Kingdom Plantae. In Kingdom Plantae you are going to study about such cycles. Okay, like that, in case of plants, mitosis occurs in both diploid as well as in haploid cells. In case of animals, usually mitosis occurs in diploid somatic cells. Here somatic cells refers to bodily related cells. We are having two kinds of cells. One is body cells called somatic cells, another one is sex cells, or also known as germ cells. Okay, germ cells are located in testis in case of males, whereas in case of females they are located in ovaries. There, what kind of cell division occurs? In case of sex cells or germ cells, meiosis, a special kind of cell division occurs. In bodily related cells, means somatic cells, what kind of cell division occurs? Mitosis will occur. Okay, in the next video we'll talk in detail regarding mitosis or M phase. In this video we studied only regarding interphase. I hope all the phases of interphase are clear to you. The next video is going to be very interesting. If you like the video, please get subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and share this video to all your friends. Thank you so much.